Hey guys, welcome to the Cutting Edge podcast where culture meets crypto. Today I am joined by the multi platinum recording artist, actress, digital artwork supporter, and fashion icon. Her collection, Birth of D1AD3MA, envisions a mystical, women centric metaverse and is represented in the early release of a new song and opportunity for one fan to win 10% ownership of the master recording of it. Please welcome Pia Mia. Pia, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Great, awesome. Recovering from Basel. How was
Same.
the rest of your Basel?
It was good. My sister was like working at one of the events there where they had Blondish playing and a bunch of other cool DJs, and they were like displaying NFT artwork in the venue too. So it was good. There was just so much going on, and it was kind of like my first real time doing Basel. I've been there before a couple of years ago, but never for this many days, and so it was
And
fun.
never, I feel like because I'm in the same position where when I've gone to Basel in the past, like it was just really for like pleasure and just kind of like, oh well, where's the party at? And this time it
Yeah.
was very much for work, and it's
Yes.
not that there was anything wrong with it. It was a great experience, but it was like, jam packed, like, you got to be
Yeah.
here and then there. So
Yeah.
yeah. What was your favorite event?
I mean, I think that the OneOf events were obviously fun. It was so cool meeting you and Swan and doing the panels. I've realized that I really enjoy doing the panels. I was kind of nervous at first because I didn't really know what to expect, but I feel like I jumped right in, and so I just liked doing that and really just being there to learn from people like you.
Cool. And I think I speak for a lot of people in the space where, getting that mainstream adoption is really uh, not going to happen until we get people like you in the space that begin to understand NFTs and incorporate it into your plan. And
Mhm.
that to me is like, like I'm influential in the NFT space, but like nobody cares who Gmoney is in real life, but like you're actually influential in the real world, And so to me, that's what's super exciting about when I meet artists and I'm working with them and helping guide them and bring them into the space in a very authentic way that works for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, with the way NFTs in this new world is becoming more mainstream, people are definitely going to be caring about you everywhere. And I think they already do, but yeah.
So, so awesome. So yeah, I think one of the first questions that I have was like, tell us, I guess for those in the audience that aren't exactly clear with who you are and how you came into the space, like just give us a little bit of background on who Pia Mia is and how you found out about NFTs, because I always think that that's like a great origin story.
Yeah. My name is Pia Mia. I come from the island of Guam and I'm a musician. And kind of just a creator in many different aspects. And I learned about NFTs kind of towards the beginning of the pandemic. I'd heard about crypto a couple of years ago, and it was really hard for me to understand. And then during the beginning of the pandemic, when things shut down, I had more time to learn about it and just kind of like start to wrap my head around it. I was like, how do I set up a wallet and what does this mean? And there was a lot to learn. So, and I'm still learning and growing. But as an independent artist, it's always important for me to find platforms and different ways to fund my projects and connect with my audience directly to give them the music or the content, whatever it is that I'm creating. And so when I learned about NFTs, I thought it was such a seamless, easy way to connect to your audience and put your art out there without having like a third party in the middle determining, when do things come out and how do you get paid and just all that extra stuff. It's the NFT space just makes it so much simpler.
Right. And, to that point is I think, and that's what I talk about with everybody is like, NFTs aren't as simple as you come in, you do a drop and you leave, right? It's like, this is,
Mm-hmm.
it's a full position on the team where, you get the opportunity to interact really, really closely and really directly with your fans. And I think that's something that you're known for as well, like across your, like, your social media is like how well you interact with fans in the space. So like, I mean, how do you plan on, I guess, bringing that over to the NFT side?
Well, I think just the fact that they have a way to literally buy into whatever your collection um, is that route where you have that like next level of interaction with them. A lot of times, I've been on major labels before and I'm independent now, so I've kind of seen like the commentary that the fans have of why isn't the music coming fast enough and where's the album and why wasn't the video funded this way or that way. And they have a lot of opinions on, what you do and what they want to see. And so this gives them full access to help you, reach whatever level, or, get your art global. Like, there's no red tape here. And so I think, just overall, it gives them just a whole nother level to be involved.
Right. And that's really interesting too. I didn't realize that you were an independent artist now. What was the reasoning for deciding to go independent?
When I signed my first label deal, it was maybe 6 years ago, and it was a really good learning experience. But to be honest, in the beginning of my music career, when I came out here, my intention really was never to sign to a major label. I didn't want my creative to be in anybody else's control. But when I had met with Interscope, I remember, being in that meeting and feeling like everybody really understood me, and we were on the same page with creative. So it was a really great working relationship there. I think that the industry changed a lot. Streaming became a thing. And so there was a little more opportunity to be able to be successful on your own without a major label. So, I learned a lot, had great success there, went independent, because I wanted to, drop the music that I wanted to drop in a timely manner, I guess. And then I ended up partnering with Electric Feel and Republic for a short period of time right before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit. And so everything changed again. And I kind of feel like it was a blessing in disguise to be now independent again, because, you know how it is. There's always holdups, and there's always timelines, and there's always other outside factors that don't have to do with you that are holding your stuff up. And that's very frustrating for me, and I know frustrating for the people that follow me. So I feel empowered to be independent now, though.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's like super dope, because like I think it shows to like how versatile you are, like of being able to roll with the punches, right? Is like, I think that being able to have that control and wanting that control and being in a position where you can decide yes or no, and it's not necessarily about like, oh, just the money, right? Because I
Totally.
I've been experiencing a lot of that myself, where it's like I only want to work with people that like where our visions are very, very closely aligned.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited and happy to see when artists have like that creative vision and control over their own destiny, right?
100%. And with music, and even with the NFT collection, and just anything that I do artistically, as you know, like, it takes so much effort and time and energy and so many people. And it's like, it's a lot to do just for like a cash grab, like, I feel like there are a lot of other easier things you can do for a cash grab than something like this. And, it's about building the group of people that are going to follow you, connecting with those people, and having like, a backstory and a reason for your art,
Right. And
whether it's music or NFT,
well, listen, I do think that tying a royalty to it is very innovative, and I think that we're probably going to see a lot more of that going forward. So I'm excited to kind of open those floodgates of because I think we've seen it already with, let's say, your visual artists, right? Like creators that make art like digitally. But I think the next step is really like music, NFTs, and how do you start empowering those creators? Because like I mean, I don't need to tell you, but like, I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know the stats. You probably know it better than I do, where, the majority of the income earned off Spotify is from like the top 1% of artists, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like, how do you distribute that wealth a little more fairly?
Yeah, totally. And also, like, when you're on a label, and just the way things are cut up and paid out and everything, it's just, there's so much, that goes into it. And it can be frustrating sometimes, like when you're an artist, if you don't own the master of your song, and it's like something that you made, and then you're not, making any money on it. So,
Yeah.
This
And
kind
then
of like
also,
cuts that out.
like to take that one step further, right? Is like, if let's say we move towards a world, hopefully, where more of these transactions happen, and exactly what percentage you're getting for owning like what rights and what, like, it's all on blockchain, right? So it's totally auditable. So like there
Mhm.
won't be any like shady stuff where they're like, oh yeah, well, some of the money goes here into this like black hole that nobody knows, right? You're like,
Yeah.
you can literally be like, wait, like, why was that payment made to this account? Like, what does
Yeah.
that do, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's really awesome too, because I feel like that's something that the music industry is known for, is the I don't want to call it shadiness, but like just like the obscurity of some things, right?
Yeah, and what with NFTs, right? It's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you make a sale on an NFT, it just goes into your wallet. There's no waiting to like have somebody else collect your money, and then you're waiting forever, and then
Because what's
you know.
what's the lead time on Spotify streams for getting paid on that?
I don't know the specifics about Spotify, but if I'm not mistaken, when you're on a label, I think it's like they collect and then you get paid out every 6 months or something like that.
I think I've heard that too. So I've heard it's like biannually, or it's some extended period of time where I was like,
Yeah,
oh man, like that sucks, right? Like you're kind of sitting there waiting for like your year-end bonus or something when you've been making a ton of money off of it and you can't
yeah,
spend it.
yeah.
So, oh wow, all right, yeah. So I'm super excited with that, and I firmly believe like music is probably one of the next verticals that goes with regards to disruption. So I'm super excited with all of that.
Yeah.
NFTs are super, super collaborative, right? And like the
Mhm.
community is all about helping people and like connecting artists with collectors and their fan base. How has the space helped you, I guess, as an artist? Like, what's that experience been like as you as an artist coming into the space, and as a female artist, right? Like, how's that experience been for you so far?
I felt so welcomed by the community. I think everybody knows that I'm still somewhat new in the space and learning, and I felt like very comfortable to be new in the space. And art has always been a passion of mine, so this is exciting for me because it's art and music tied together. And I feel excited and I feel grateful to like be here and be learning and to be putting projects out.
That's awesome. And so, tell us a little bit about this upcoming drop, like the collaboration and everything, like the some of the specifics.
Okay. So the drop is called Birth of Diadema. I kind of like, I've always created these characters and had these visions of, ideas and people and characters and worlds and things like that, just always. So then when the NFT space was kind of introduced to me, became more specific about what I wanted to do. And so I started thinking about Diadema and Gmoney. And I was introduced to Ben Ditto, who's the artist, and he helped create the aesthetics and everything for our characters and our world. But Diadema is kind of like our main character, and she is inspired by just strong women. I think that I was raised by a lot of strong women, and I'm surrounded by a lot of strong women, so it was kind of natural for that to be part of her characteristics. And she kind of just represents, women empowerment, sexuality, and just like owning that and being in control of your life. And then she has Jemmy, which is her really cute sidekick, little companion. And as like the story evolves, I think we'll see more of what they get into. But the idea is that they go on these adventures together, and their goal is to kind of bring light and love and peace back into this universe, which is called Obscurus. And then we have our villain, Venom, and he'll be introduced later down the line. But that's kind of like the overarching vibe of our collection. And then also we're attaching a song called Whole Thing, which we're giving that 10% master royalty away on.
Oh, how many are you selling of each piece, and how is that going to work? Where are you releasing it? So if people are interested in listing, like what's the best way for them to kind of find out more about it?
Yes. Okay. So it's going to be released on the OneOf marketplace. So you can go to oneof.com and the collection is listed on there. You can sign up. Our pre-sale sold out in seconds, and it was wild. So if you want to sign up, like get all your stuff sorted so that you can get the piece that you want.
How many did you sell in the pre-sale?
In the pre-sale, I believe we sold 300 editions. Okay. So we had 3 different stills.
And it sold out. I think I saw it online. It sold out in like 10 or 15 seconds or something, right?
Yeah. So Gmoney, I think, sold out in 15 seconds. And then there was Hourglass Nebula and Change of Atmosphere. And those also sold out in like all under a minute. I think the longest took like 45 seconds or something like that. I was so surprised. I didn't know what to expect at all. We were on Twitter Spaces, and when it went live, and I was on trying to like get my own too. And I was like, what the heck? It went so fast. I didn't even get one.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So for our main drop, we have Change of Atmosphere, which was part of the pre-sale. And there's going to be 200 editions of that, which is a still that was part of the pre-sale. So there's 200 of those. And then there's Hourglass Nebula, which was also part of pre-sale. There'll be 200 of those. And then we have Supernova, which is a still, and there will be 75 of those. Then there's like a whole list. Then we have Diadema and Gmoney, which is also a still. And there will be 75 of those. And then Birth of Dema, this is a really cool video clip. There will be 75 of those. And then there's more. There's Earthbounds, which is also a video clip. There will be 10 editions of those. Gravity video clip, 10 editions of those. And then Key to the Constellation, which is our one of one, which is what the 10% royalty is attached to. That one will be the auction piece, which is a longer video clip.
And how long is that the auction going for?
24 hours, I believe.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I tend to agree with that. Sometimes people will run a longer auction, but I feel like a lot of the bidding doesn't happen till the end anyway. So as long as you discuss it and talk about it with enough lead time, the people that want to bid on it will know about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very exciting to be giving away a part of the royalty. I obviously have never done that before, and I think only a few people have done it. So I think it's a cool way to let people be involved in the music.
So what like inspired you to do that, right? Because I do think that like that is something, I'm not sure if it's happened yet, but if it has happened, it hasn't been talked about much, but it's one of the first times that something like this has happened. So what was like your thought process there of wanting to do something like that?
I think just the fact that I come, with a background of music into this space, I wanted to bring something special and exciting for collectors and people that have, been in this NFT world for a long time. It's kind of like bringing a piece of my world to your guys' world. I want it to be special. The video clip is really cool. And the song is, the concept really goes with what Dema and this project stands for, which is like women empowerment. So I just wanted there to be something special for this one-of-one piece.
Amazing. And so the actual song won't be just exclusive to the NFT owner, right? It's going to be like streamed on like Spotify and like whatever services you already do. They just get access to some of the royalties.
Yes, they get access to the royalties, and they also get a 2-day exclusive for the song. So that they'll have the song exclusively for 2 days before it goes public on PSPs.
Oh, that's really cool. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Amazing. And how are you going to be, I guess, engaging with collectors like down the road? Is there a Discord or, stuff?
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything that maybe you can't talk about yet. So please feel free to talk about whatever you can.
There will be Discord access. There will be personalized videos that I'll be giving to collectors. There are special giveaways. The one-of-one also comes with a gold pendant, necklace. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, there will be like access to talk to me and be connected.
And yeah, for this next part, I just want to bring on Lin Dai, the CEO and co-founder of OneOf, because I just have a couple questions about the platform and what you guys are doing and the mechanics of the drop. So hi, Lin, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, how's your week been, I guess, leading up to the drop?
Yeah, it's been super exciting. We set some records already. Pia's collection in the pre-sale, one of the NFTs sold out in 15 seconds in pre-sale. I wasn't even fast enough to get myself one, so which I'm like really kicking myself for making the decision to. And that's like a kind of super rare item that's like not available even in the main sale in a couple of days. So now I'm kind of regretting that decision. So.
No, I mean, that's awesome. That's like a high quality problem to have, right? Like it's very much so, you're doing something good when, there's always going to be people that complain no matter what, with regards to any kind of drop mechanic you use. But the best compliment is when something sells out very quickly, because that means that there's a lot of demand there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you both for taking the time to come on. Pia, I guess a question I have for you is just, as a creator coming into the space, I'm sure a lot of platforms have hit you up, trying to get you to collaborate with them. Why did you choose to partner with OneOf?
I really loved that OneOf was a music-facing platform, obviously because I come from, background in music. Also, they, are eco-friendly, which I love, and I'm honored to be alongside, other artists that have dropped through them, like Whitney Houston, Doja Cat, Lesso. And I love the team. Everybody's so hands-on and has also been a big help to get me familiar and educated.
Amazing. And like, how has it been, I guess, Lynn, on your side, working with all these artists as mostly musicians coming into the space and helping guide them?
Yeah, absolutely. We built OneOf to be kind of the green NFT platform, specifically serving the music community. So, the company was backed by Quincy Jones from very early on, and Quincy spent, his entire life champion for artist rights, right? So when we kind of, and we work with everybody from Doja Cat to Whitney Houston, which we have a drop today. So, but when kind of Pia's management and us connected, we really saw kind of kind of what I call kind of the future of music, right? So both that, like, we're all about supporting kind of independent artists and also female creators. We're kind of one of the platforms that 40% of all drops on our platform are by female artists and female creators. So which compared to the broader kind of NFT ecosystem, like 95% are very male dominated. We think, when we find a great female creator, we want to elevate and support their voice. But also, Pia came to us with the idea of doing the royalty drop, right? So, and that's very, very difficult to do, as you can imagine. But we're all about rising up to the challenge, and kind of worked for months with our legal team on this, who are the legal team also, who are the legal team that behind Apple Music and Spotify. We're pushing new boundary here, right? This is about kind of what I call kind of a revolution, quiet revolution from within. We're gonna kind of really using blockchain, I think is kind of the future of music. And Pia came to us with such an audacious idea which really impressed us and make us really want to work with her on this project.
Yeah. So is this the first royalty NFT drop being done on the platform?
Yeah, this is the first music royalty drop that's being done on the platform, and I would say probably the first compliant royalty NFT drop done, music royalty NFT drop done anywhere. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm always, like, it's funny because I think we were discussing it earlier with Pia, where it's like, I think it is, if it's not the first, it's one of the first. But just with crypto, the nature of it, it's funny because with CryptoPunks, it's like, oh, this was like the first NFT on Ethereum, and then people always find something. It's like, well, technically that was. It's like, all right, like there's always like the crypto historians that seek to prove people wrong. But I mean, I do think that it's like super innovative. The question I have for you, Lynn, is how does that work with compliance? I know one of the things that has always been an issue whenever people discuss royalties linked to music on chain is that it becomes a security. So how are you guys? How did you guys work with those laws?
Yeah, I think first of all, the view is, if you're distributing royalty stream to a token holder, it is definitely a security under U.S. law, right? So it's not, I think some other views from other platform may be like, hey, like if it's Web3, it's like not our problem. I think this is like we're very, our entire ethos is about artists first, right? So we want to protect the consumer, but as well as our artist partners. So the way we're doing this is the one-of-one token holder. There's only one winner for that auction, and they will win, the right to 10% of the master rights, right, which is primary streaming rights for Pia's song. And Pia's song done, her top 5 songs done like tens of millions, and there's some songs done like hundreds of millions, right, 500 million streams. One of the songs, which I was like totally shocked. So this is like real revenue, not like theoretical from some artists you may not have heard of. Now, and the song is amazing. So the only requirement is the winner of the auction will have to separately execute kind of a credit investor form with us, right? So to basically prove like that, I imagine this will go for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, and certainly the person can will likely qualify. And the person doesn't qualify, the NFT still comes with, it's still a one-of-one exclusive NFT. We only have minted like 2 or 3 of these in the history of our platform. It comes also with like, it comes with the song, but also it comes with a unique physical item, which is this like gold pendant it has a lot of value regardless of the song royalty. And if a person doesn't want to, the song royalty is basically kept in a digital vault on the OneOf platform. Right, so we're still very early. The idea of everything entirely on chain is definitely kind of where the future music is going. But today, Spotify doesn't pay out their royalty into a online crypto wallet, right? So there's some like kind of Web 2 or even Web 0 ways, like antiquated way to interface with these, royalty and revenue collection part. Like the artist still had to collect the revenue. We're basically the partner to administer revenue back into the user's wallet. So basically, in that sense, we also at the same time basically verify the holder of the token at the time of royalty distribution is a credit investor, so it doesn't violate any U.S. rules.
Right. Is that the only? I assume because of the nature of the auction, that's the only winner or like, let's say NFT owner that has to kind of KYC a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you win the NFT, then you had to kind of basically KYC and then fill out this royalty.
No, but I'm saying for the other ones don't need the KYC, right?
On our platform, if you do want to bid with crypto, you basically had to open a prepaid crypto account. So you do KYC in that process. It's minimal, basically KYC requirements. So we try to be to make sure, but we don't actually verify you're an accredited investor until you actually only the winner had to go through that final step.
Okay, cool. And then what chain is the NFT being issued on?
Yeah, so OneOf for our music NFTs, it's all issued on the Tezos blockchain. It's about 2 million times more energy efficient. So we can, we like to joke that it takes less energy to mint our NFT than the energy it takes to tweet and complain about it. So it's super environmentally friendly. Our minting costs are kind of less than a penny. So it's really great for artists. Pia's collection actually had items that was priced as could be priced way under $25. I think there are for part of the main sale coming on Wednesday, there are items still for gold tier NFT still priced under at $25, right? So which is like incredibly affordable for her real fans. So we think NFT is powerful for the community when it's not just for kind of sophisticated collectors like you yourself, but also when it can reach the masses, right? So we're about educating with the power of like the celebrity, like such as Pia and her rabid following, to really educate kind of new users to kind of be onboarding into the ecosystem that, hey, like, NFT is not crazy, NFT is not scary. It doesn't require thousands of dollars to participate. It doesn't cost a lot of gas fees, right? So we actually subsidize gas fees for all our artists and all our users. So just want to kind of make the friction all go away and make collecting an NFT an enjoyable experience.
Right. And so then the collectors will be able to come in, buy the NFT on the platform, and then transfer it out if they wanted to like their own custodial wallet, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They can actually immediately request an export, and then we actually, we're compatible with major kind of other resale marketplace that supports the Tezos format. So including Object and Rarible just announced they're supporting Tezos format, and early next year OpenSea will be supporting Tezos as well. So you'll have ability to access user base from all sorts of communities. So we want to be very inclusive. You can actually bidding natively on the OneOf.com. You can bid with fiat, you can bid with Tezos certainly, but you can also bid with ETH and you can bid with Bitcoin. So we basically engineer kind of a hybrid system that allows kind of a very inclusive participation.
Right, that's pretty cool, because I firmly believe that we're going to live in a multi-chain world, right? So
Absolutely.
there's going to be a lot of different chains that are used for a lot of different things. I'm actually part of a DAO that has been collecting Tezos NFTs, so maybe I'll bring this to them to possibly see if they might be interested in doing something with this. But I think it's super cool, and thank you for explaining the mechanics of the auction and the drop behind that. I know. Yep.
Yeah, no, I love to, we'd love to have you and your DAO to participate. This is definitely something that, we think are, rewriting kind of music history as we go. So, and Pia, like we couldn't be, prouder to support a great artist with such a vision, like Pia.
Amazing. And thank you for your time, Lin. I know you're busy getting ready for the drop, and so I won't take any more of your time, and we'll finish up with Pia over here. But thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Lin.
Awesome. And so I guess with regards to that song, it's a song off the your next upcoming album, or is it just like a single?
It's a single.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really curious as to maybe if that helps it become more viral, right? Like it's as people have more of like a vested interest in your success, because they can kind of experience that upside. That to me, I think is probably the coolest part about NFTs in general, is that you're almost like creating like this marketing department for you, right? Where it's like your biggest fans, who are already your biggest advocates, will become even bigger advocates.
100%. And that's why it's great to be independent, because it's like, it's so important to find that kind of support and backing when you're independent, because you need that exposure for your song to have the opportunity to do well.
Yeah. So I guess taking that one step further is, how do you envision that this will change the relationship between labels and their artists? Like, I know you're independent. Have you had other musicians that are not independent start reaching out to you and like figuring out, like asking you questions about like how you've been going about it with NFTs?
I don't know if I've had anybody specifically like signed to a label that has asked me the details, but I mean, labels always adapt, so I'm sure they'll figure out their right footing in this world. But I'm just like, I have just the total freedom to do it. Anyone that's independent has the total freedom on your terms, whatever you want the situation to be, however you want to include your fans or your followers or, anybody, it's totally up to you. But it's still like, everyone's navigating it and trying to figure out the right way to do it. So I don't know. We'll just have to kind of see how it unfolds.
Yeah, like that, to me, I think that's one of the most interesting parts about this whole space, is like we're all like figuring it out together, right? Like, you're like an expert in your field, and now you're like bringing it over to NFTs, so like you're gonna understand it and help onboard other artists, and they're gonna it's just a great flywheel effect, I think, and that's what makes me the most excited about it, right? Like I think as an artist, you're gonna have more leverage now, like when you do negotiate with all the major labels, when they inevitably come knocking on your door.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, and I know we touched on this a little bit, but I guess, and we were on the panel for this at Basel, and to me, one of the things that I am trying to do is help women have a bigger voice in crypto, because it is a very male-dominated industry, and I do think that the way that you get ideas to flourish is by having a lot of different perspectives. And one of those is obviously a female perspective. And, you're a person of color. I'm also a person of color. So what's that experience been like so far in the NFT space? What do you think we could be doing better? And like, how do you think we can work towards that?
I think you do a really great job at shining a light on women creators specifically. I think it's just having more people like you that have the respect and the knowledge in this space, making it a point to seek out women. I think that there's a lot of creative, talented, smart women out there, and it's not like a rare find. I think, we just have to fight a lot harder to be heard and to be seen. And so it's important for people, like you to help find us and help expose us, and the collections and the art or whatever it is that we're working on, because there are so many women out there. And I was kind of surprised, because at one point someone had kind of asked me, like almost as if it was a big deal that we were making, that I made Dema this women empowered character. And like, that shouldn't be a shock, like it's not a surprise. There are so many women out there that are talented and smart and running stuff, so I don't think it's like a new thing. It's just, we need help to get that exposure. And so it's really just people like you.
Right. Yeah. And I that to me is like my part of the reason why I started like my account and wanted to talk about NFTs was because I would have these 20-minute conversations where I could convince somebody go from 0 to 100 of being like, okay, well, I understand why NFTs might be valuable, but even though like I won't buy one personally, but I understand why somebody might. And so to me, it's like getting all those different perspectives, right? Where it's like I can frame, I can see the world in one way, but you know, who knows when the next entrant that comes into the space, whether it be a woman or a minority or whatever, that can then explain it in a way that more people can understand, right? Because that's really what leads to adoption. And to me, it's like that melting pot of ideas of people being able to connect.
Totally. Yes.
And so what was your biggest challenge you thought that you had when entering the space? I mean, you're this very talented musician. I think people probably will downplay your understanding of things. But like, what have you seen, and the challenges I think that we can try to do better to overcome these things in the industry?
I think it was just my initial introduction. I was just so confused. Like, I just didn't understand crypto. I didn't understand NFTs. I'd never really heard about it. So I didn't know, like, how do I compare this? Like, how do I wrap my head around this? And even one of my girlfriends that I had brought with me to Art Basel, she, really had no experience caring about this. And so I think it's just getting that first understanding of what it is. Then everything else kind of comes a lot quicker, because you're like, okay, I get it. Like, you can buy your crypto here, and then you can put your NFT for sale, and then you can resell your NFTs. And like, then I feel like the knowledge makes so much more sense. It's just trying to get that initial like understanding of what is happening here.
So yeah, so you said you found crypto a few years ago, right?
Yeah, well, I was introduced to it a few years ago, but I was just like, okay, like, what do I do with that? And then I didn't really jump on it. And then it wasn't until the beginning of the pandemic that I was like, had the time to sit down and research articles and look it up, and then get into it.
So when did you find NFTs? I'm super curious, because like my origin story was I didn't find NFTs till August of 2020. So there was, let's say, 5 or 6 months into the pandemic. And when I found it, like, it made total sense to me right away, because I was playing Fortnite at the beginning of the pandemic. And I was like, oh, this is your skin on Twitter. Like, this is a no-brainer. Like, it makes sense. What was your introduction to NFTs? And, what was it that happened that made sense, that made it click?
I think someone had brought it up to me, like, oh, have you heard about these NFTs, and artists are like posting their artwork, and, things are going viral, like, with these NFTs. And so I think that's kind of like how it was brought up to me. And then I started researching it. And then I think I came across CryptoPunks first. And then I was, seeing what they were. And then it was it Crypto Kitties? Maybe was another collection that I came across. And then my younger brother was like, oh, these are really cute. Like, what are these? And so I just started looking up different collections. And then seeing the different collections, I think, was kind of how like I really got my understanding, was just like, what are these CryptoPunks? Where did they come from? Why?
Did you end up buying one or no?
No, I wish I did.
I wish I knew you back then. I definitely would have with you in like 10 minutes. You definitely would have bought at least a couple.
It's okay. The next ones that come, you need to just hit me up. Let me know what's on and popping.
I'll definitely let you know. What did you end up buying as your first NFT?
And my first NFT that I got in my wallet was this mushroom. It was actually a collection that somebody came to me with. They were like, look at our collection. This is really cool. And I thought they were so cute. So that was like my first NFT. And I'm still like looking and trying to find like the right ones to invest in, and like, how do you know that they're legit, and find my footing in that space. But yeah, it's called the Mushroom Club. Let me see what's called exactly. I don't want to like mess up their name. But they're so cute. I had it as my profile picture for a while.
What is that?
Magic Mushroom Clubhouse. That was my first one in my wallet.
All right, that's awesome. And then is that one your favorite one, or do you have a different one that's your favorite?
I think that one's really cute. My friend Colin Tilley, who's a big music video director, just launched his collection yesterday, Castle Kid. And so I think those ones are really cool too. And he's offering access to his music video sets. I think that's pretty cool. He's like a sick music video director. He directed my music video, Do It Again, with Chris Brown and Tyga. So we we go back.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. That's like the cool stuff I think that you start seeing with utility with
Mhm.
regards to getting that access and stuff. Which I guess I didn't ask this, but does the do any of the NFTs in your sale get any sort of access to, I don't know, like ticket pre-sales or backstage passes or something? Or
I know that as we develop the collection further and do more drops, there's going to be more utility added to the collection.
what advice do you have for creators that are coming into the space?
I would just say be authentic with whatever the piece is that you're bringing to this world. Do your research. Everything is evolving and changing so quickly, so it's very important to keep up, with what's happening, and just try to be educated and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because we're new here and this is where our world is moving to, and so it's more exciting than anything. So don't be afraid.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. I was so
I-
hyped when I found out we were going to do this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think our talk on the panel, I was super impressed with like how knowledgeable everybody on the stage was and how knowledgeable you were with the space. Because I think a lot of times when you get celebrities coming into the space, the initial thought from a crypto native person is like they don't know the space the way we want them to know the space. So the fact that like you were super knowledgeable about it was very impressive, and I'm looking forward to everything you plan on doing in the space going forward.
Thank you. And I'm invested. I'm planning to be here for a long time. I'm not just trying to be in and out. I have a lot of ideas and, a lot of creative that I want to bring to the space and hopefully help, create new ideas and expand in this world and make our community bigger. So I'm here to say I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, and I was actually having a talk this morning with some of the people on my team where like it's very important for me to empower women. So please let me know how I can help you and how we can collaborate on this vision and getting more voices heard in the space going forward.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be hitting you up.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming on, and to everybody watching at home, when are the exact details of the drop?
So we have 12/15, December 15th is our gold and platinum editions.
Okay, amazing. And they can go to OneOf.com to go check it out?
Yes.
All right, amazing. And then your socials on what's the best way to keep up with all things Pia Mia?
It's just at Pia Mia. That's my social handle.
Amazing. Love it. So easy.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming on, Pia, and best of luck with everything. And I'm really looking forward to everything you're doing in the space.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.